Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, because this will be the last video of 2021. I know it's a sad thing, but I'll be back next year. Sure enough, I don't know entirely when or what day, but there will be some new video ideas. I'm getting a GoPro, so a new camera, and some new football clubs to go and see. So there's all sorts of things coming up in 2022, which is much better than this year. And I'm going to get rid of this stupid hat before we even begin. So today, though, we are looking at League Two in particular, specifically the managers and how good they were as players. Last bit of this mini series. We'll start off with the alphabetical order of the clubs with Mark Cooper. Cooper's football career started in 1987, where he first appeared on the books of Bristol City as a trainee, but never made any first-team appearances for the club. And after 2 seasons with the Robins, Cooper moved on to Exeter City, which was managed by his father, in October 1989. He played 50 games and scored 12 goals for the Southwestern club. And during his time with the Grecians, Mark went on loan to Southend United, where he made only 5 appearances. In September 1991, Cooper joined Birmingham City. He played a total of 39 games and scored 4 goals for the Midlands club. Cooper next signed for London club Fulham for a £40,000 fee. After only 14 games with the club and a brief loan spell with Huddersfield Town in 1993, he moved on to Wycombe Wanderers, before returning for a second spell with Exeter City in February 1994. 2 seasons later, Cooper went north to Hartlepool United, where he made 31 appearances and scored 9 goals. His third and final loan spell was with Macclesfield Town in September 1997, where he spent 2 months and made just 8 appearances, scoring twice. In December 1997, Cooper joined Leyton Orient on a non-contract basis, before moving on to Rushden and Diamonds. After 2 years with the club, Cooper moved on to Hednesford Town. Cooper then moved on to Forest Green Rovers, where he was club captain and named Supporters Player of the Year. This was his final team before joining Tamworth as a player in May 2002, which is when he started focusing more on the managerial side. Derrick Adams. Adams started his professional career with Aberdeen, but failed to make a first-team appearance. He moved to English side Burnley, making a couple of league appearances in the mid-1990s, before returning to Scotland with Ross County in 1996. Adams was transferred to Motherwell in a deal worth £200,000 in 1998 and spent 6 years at Fir Park, including a short loan spell with Ayr United. Adams was one of a number of players affected by the club's administration problems, accepting a pay cut in April 2002. Adams failed to win any trophies during his time with Well, although he scored in the 2002 free Scottish Cup semi-final defeat against Rangers. In 2004, Adams agreed a pre-contract move to his hometown club, Aberdeen, spending a year at Pittodrie before being transfer listed and leaving for Livingston in 2005. Joey Barton. Early in his career, Barton mainly played a defensive role, with a game based on tackling and tracking back to shield for defence. As his career has progressed, he has begun to incorporate a more attacking approach to his play, which resulted in a greater number of goals and assists. And his 6 goals from midfield made him Manchester City's leading scorer in the 2006-07 season, ahead of strikers Georgios Samaras, Bernardo Corradi, Emil Mapenza, and Darius Vassell. Barton has been described as having a good work ethic and the ability to carry the ball and retain possession for the team. He has been praised for having a good passing range. This aspect of his game has showed improvement since the 2005-06 season, when he began to favour simpler passes over the more ambitious ones, and his relative high pass completion rate can be attributed to this change. Barton's passes have often proved to be crucial. In the past, he has led the way in his team's assists. Barton, though, has been described as the dirtiest player in the Premier League, a style reflected in the high number of fouls he has committed during his career. He received 39 bookings and 3 red cards during his time with Manchester City. This physical approach was occasionally criticised by Kevin Keegan as excessive, although he can't really talk. He was quite a hothead himself. Keith Mellon. After spells as an apprentice at Southampton and Crystal Palace, Mellon also spent time as a junior at Brentford, before turning professional in 1983. Between then and 1993, he made 305 league appearances for the club, scoring 17 goals. He helped Brentford reach the final of the Associate Members' Cup in 1985, where they were defeated 3-1 by Wigan Athletic at Wembley Stadium. He helped the club to the Football League Third Division title in 1991-92 and earned a testimonial match against Tottenham Hotspur in 1993, following 10 years as a professional. Mellon joined Watford along with defensive partner Colin Foster in March 1994, helping them escape relegation that season. Although Watford were eventually relegated in 1996, Mellon later played a part in the club achieving successive promotions under Graham Taylor between 1997 and 1999. In total, Mellon made 165 appearances for Watford, scoring 5 goals. Mellon joined Bristol City in November 1999 in the 2000 Football League Trophy final at Wembley. Mellon captained Bristol City in a 2-1 defeat to Stoke City. He played his last competitive game in August 2002, a 2-0 home win over Blackpool, before retiring in 2003, and later joining the club's coaching staff. Hayden Mullins. Mullins began his career with First Division side Crystal Palace in 1996, and signed his first professional contract with the club in 1998. He quickly established himself in the first team and made 257 appearances for Palace in 5 seasons. In October 2003, he switched to First Division side West Ham United, initially on a short-term loan, which quickly turned into a permanent transfer. He remained at the club for 5.5 years, making 213 appearances, before joining Premier League side Portsmouth in January 2009. He made 129 appearances for Portsmouth, but the club's financial difficulties meant that he joined Championship side Reading on loan in March 2012. At the end of the 2011-12 season, Mullins left Portsmouth and joined Birmingham City on a free transfer. After 2 years, during which he also spent time on loan at Notts County, Birmingham confirmed he would be released when his contract expired at the end of the 2013-14 season. Mullins actually made 3 appearances for the England under-21 squad in 1999. John Yems. As a player, Yems was a member of the reserve teams of Crystal Palace, Reading and Millwall, before suffering a knee injury that forced him to retire. Due to an injury crisis, though, he did play for Horsham at centre-back whilst being the manager of the club. Matt Taylor. Anyone else find it really confusing? There was a Matthew Taylor and a Matt Taylor's managers in League 2, or is that only me? But this is the Matt Taylor, I think, who is... Oh, it doesn't matter. It's Matt Taylor, the one which is the one earlier on in the alphabet. I think it's Cheltenham. Is it? Oh no, Cheltenham aren't him. Just ignore me. I'm waffling and I'm not entirely sure what I'm talking about. He started his career though as a goalkeeper, moving around non-league circles with the likes of Burskoff, where he won the FA Trophy despite 401 odds to win. He also played for Rosendale United, Matlock Town, Hucknall Town, Halifax Town, Guiseley and Team Bath. During his time at Team Bath, he converted into a centre-back. This proved to be a winner as he joined conference side Exeter City, reaching the playoff final. He then joined Charlton Athletic, becoming vice-captain. He joined Bradford City, but due to a foot injury, was restricted to only 2 appearances. During his time at the Bantams, he was sent on a month loan to Colchester United. In 2014, he joined Cheltenham Town, becoming captain. I think that's where I've got confusion. His final league club was Newport County, and he finished his career as player coach for Bath City. Rob Edwards. Edwards began his career with Aston Villa, making his senior debut in the Premier League. He then moved to Midlands neighbours Wolverhampton Wanderers in 2004, where he spent 4 seasons at Championship level. He helped both Blackpool and Norwich to promotions to the Premier League and featured regularly for Barnsley in the Championship before retiring due to injury in 2013. Simon Weaver. Weaver played as a central defender and began his career as an apprentice with Sheffield Wednesday and made his professional debut during a loan spell with Doncaster Rovers in February 1997. Released by Wednesday, he moved into the non-league circuit with first Ilkeston Town and then Nuneaton Borough. In the summer of 2002, he made a return to the Football League, signing for Lincoln City, who were managed by Keith Alexander, his former boss at Ilkeston. He signed a new 1-year contract in July 2004, but lost his place in the Lincoln team at the start of the 2004-05 season, and was transfer listed at his request. Following a loan period at Macclesfield Town, he joined Kidderminster Harriers, and was one of 10 players released at the end of the season after Kidderminster were relegated to the Conference National. He signed a 12-month contract with Scarborough in June 2005, but despite initial optimism, the spell was not successful, and with Scarborough in disarray, Weaver was in need of a new club for the 2006-07 season. Weaver signed a short-term contract with Conference National side York City at the beginning of the 2006-07 season. While having been an unused substitute for the first 2 games of the season, he was released by York so that he could take up the offer of a 12-month contract at Tamworth. Although Weaver played in many of Tamworth's games in the 2006-07 season, he was not offered a new contract following the club's relegation. In the summer of 2007, he briefly trialled with Conference Premier newcomers Salisbury City and had discussions with Droylsden. He was injured playing in a pre-season friendly in Scotland, an injury that required the bones in his foot to be pinned. The injury caused him to miss the first 4 months of the season, but returning to fitness, he signed for Boston United on the 11th of December 2007. On 29th of May 2008, Weaver joined Conference North newcomers Kings Lynn, after failing to agree a new deal with Boston. He scored 3 goals in 22 appearances, but left Kings Lynn in January after failing to get a regular start in recent weeks. He joined Redditch United, debuting in their 2-1 victory at Hyde United on the 31st of January 2009. After one further appearance for the club in the away defeat to Fleetwood Town a fortnight later, Weaver rejoined his former club, Ilkeston Town. He made a successful debut for the club, netting twice in a 4-3 Northern Premier League Challenge Cup victory at Boston United on the 18th of February 2009. Graham Lee. Lee started his career at Hartlepool United, notching up almost 300 appearances at centre-back and helping the club secure promotion to the second division. Lee also played as a striker for Hartlepool, scoring 20 goals for the club. In 2003, he was snapped up by former boss Chris Turner for Sheffield Wednesday. He made 67 appearances for Wednesday and scored 5 goals in his first season, and took up the captain's armband when Dean Smith was injured. This made him a shining light in one of the Owls' worst ever seasons, which led to him being picked up as a Fans Player of the Season award. Lee started the 2004-05 season in the same vein as he ended the last. Although dogged by injuries at the tail end of the season, he was voted Defender of the Year by fans of the club. Lee was deemed as not good enough for the Championship following the side's promotion by Paul Sturrock and signed for Doncaster Rovers from Sheffield Wednesday for £50,000 in 2005. He was Rovers' captain. He scored the winning goal in their 3-2 win over Bristol Rovers in the 2007 EFL Trophy final at Cardiff's Millennium Stadium. At the start of the 2007-8 season, he was ruled out for 6 weeks with a neck problem, and when he returned, he was sidelined for another 4 months because of a fractured knee. Instead, on the 14th of February 2008, Lee signed for former club Hartlepool United on loan for 1 month. Following his return to the Keep Moat Stadium, Lee was loaned out again, this time to Shrewsbury Town, until the end of the season. He was recalled with 2 games remaining. After a series of injuries had left Rovers short of defensive cover, in June 2008, after a season in which he was limited to a couple of substitute performances, Lee was released by Doncaster Rovers. On the 30th of June 2008, he signed a 2-year deal with League Two side Bradford City. On the 6th of August 2008, Lee was made Bradford City club captain for the 2008-9 season, taking over from David Wetherall, who had retired at the end of the previous season. At the same time, he said it was his goal to lift the league title. He was one of 4 Bradford players to make his debut on the opening day of the 2008-9 season against Notts County, which Bradford won 2-1. His first goal for the club came in a 3-1 victory at Grimsby Town on the 24th of October 2008. Having played in all of City's 13 league games of the season, 2 weeks later, he added a second goal, helping City to upset League One side Milton Keynes Dons in the 2-1 in the FA Cup. He played in the club's first 34 league and cup matches of the season, before he missed his first game in February because of suspension from picking up 5 bookings. Lee signed a 2-year deal for Notts County, joining on a free transfer on the 30th of June 2009, just prior to the infamous takeover of the club by Munto Finance. Lee played an important role as County were promoted as champions of League Two in 2010 under Ian McParland, Sven Goran Eriksson, Hans Bakke, Dave Keevan and Steve Cottrell. He started the 2010-11 season as first choice centre-back for yet another new county manager, Craig Short, but he would not be part of the next manager Paul Ince's plans and was made a free agent in December 2010, bringing to an end a memorable 18 months at the club. Lee then signed for Darlington on a 1-year deal on the 30th of June 2011. Darlington suffered financial difficulties during Lee's time at the club, and his contract was terminated on the 16th of January 2012, along with the rest of the playing squad and caretaker manager Craig Liddell. However, despite the ongoing financial and contractual issues at Darlington, Lee continued to play on until a knee injury ruled him out for the remainder of the season. Lee joined Celtic Nation during the 2012-13 close season break. Kenny Jackett. Jackett joined his local club Watford at the age of 12, progressing to make his first team debut, aged 18, on the 26th of April 1980, as a substitute in a game at Sunderland. He became a regular member of the Watford side, but won promotion to the First Division, and finished runners-up in the league in the season 1982-83, under manager Graham Taylor. In addition, he played in the club's first in only 2 appearances in an FA Cup final, when they lost to Everton in 1984. These successes also led to Jackett appearing in the subsequent UEFA Cup campaign. However, having undergone a series of knee operations, he was forced to prematurely end his playing career in 1990, aged 28. In total, he made 428 appearances for the Hornets, scoring 34 goals, placing him 6th in the club's all-time appearance records. Jackett made his international debut for Wales on the 22nd of September 1982 in a 1-0 win over Norway in an Euro 84 qualifier. He won 31 full caps in total, the final on the 27th of April 1988 in a 4-1 friendly defeat to Sweden in Stockholm. Nigel Clough. Clough joined Nottingham Forest as an apprentice on leaving school in 1982, although he did originally play for Allestree Football Club when he was a very young kid. He left after 2 seasons, though, to sign for non-league Heanor Town, but was back at the City ground on a professional contract in December 1984. He became a regular in the 1985-86 season, being Forest's top scorer with 15 goals in the First Division to help them finish 8th in the league, a position they repeated the following season when he found the net 14 times in the First Division. In April 1988, he was subject of a £1.5 million bid from Italian side Pisa, but the bid was turned down and Clough remained at Forest, who finished third that season and the season after. He remained among Forest's top goal scorers for a further 5 seasons, helping them win the League Cup in 1989 and 1990 and the Full Members' Cup in 1989. They were also FA Cup semi-finalists in 1988 and 1989 and runners-up in 1991. Clough also contributed to Forest winning the last Full Members' Cup in 1992. They also reached another League Cup final that season, but lost to Manchester United. Clough was Forest's top scorer in the 1992-93 season with 10 goals in the new Premier League. The Forest were relegated, following up with which his father Brian retired after 18 years as manager. Towards the end of the season, he was used as a centre-back on several occasions. Clough was wildly expected to leave Forest in order to continue playing Premier League football, and was sold to Liverpool that summer for £2.25 million. At the time, he was one of the most expensive players ever to be signed by Liverpool, who would finish a disappointing 6th in the new Premier League, having been the dominant English club side of the last 20 years of the old First Division. Clough scored twice in his debut for Liverpool against Sheffield Wednesday on the 14th of August 1993. He found the net 4 times for the Reds by the end of August 1993, but by Christmas had found himself struggling for a first-team place after the emergence of 18-year-old Robbie Foyle alongside Ian Rush in the Liverpool attack. Liverpool were also enduring another disappointing season in the league, which led to the resignation of Graham Souness as manager at the end of January 1994, and the appointment of coach Roy Evans as a successor. Clough did manage to find the net 3 more times that season, his final 2 goals coming on the 4th of January 1994 when he scored twice against Manchester United at Anfield, where Liverpool came from 3 goals down to draw 3-3. However, the continuing effectiveness of Fowler and Rush in attack meant that Clough made only a handful of appearances for the Reds in 1994-95 and was not in that League Cup winning side. He finally left Anfield in January 1996. He signed for Premier League relegation battlers Manchester City for £1.5 million. Clough played in all of Manchester City's remaining 15 league appearances after his arrival at Main Road, scoring twice but could not stave off relegation, and shortly afterwards he lost his place in the team due to injury. He returned to Nottingham Forest on loan in December 1996, when Stuart Pearce became manager on an interim basis after the departure of Frank Clark. He scored once against Leicester City in 13 league games before returning to Manchester City. He did not play for the club again. He made another Premier League comeback in the 1997-98 season when he was loaned to struggling Sheffield Wednesday. His only league game for the South Yorkshire club was a 5-2 home defeat by Derby County. He also played in a League Cup tie against Grimsby Town. When City were relegated to Division 2 at the end of the 1997-98 season, Clough was given a free transfer and his senior football career was over at the age of 32. After playing 15 times for the England under-21 sides from 1986 to 1988, scoring 3 goals, Clough finally made his senior international debut on the 23rd of May 1989 against Chile at the age of 23. He made the final full international appearance of his career on the 19th of June 1993 against Germany. By this time, he had been capped 14 times by England at senior level, but failed to score. James Rowberry. Robery played youth football with Bristol City and Newport County, who he joined age 16. His father Stephen played for Newport in the 1990s, and fellow Welsh manager Tony Pulis is a distant relative of Robery. He retired as a player aged 21 choosing to concentrate on his coaching career. John Brady. He previously played for Hayes, Rushden Diamonds, Woking, Chester City, Stevenage Borough and Hereford United. He joined Kidderminster Harriers, where he was on loan from Cambridge United until the end of the 2006-07 season. He signed for Conference North side Kettering Town in June 2007. He was a vital member of the squad that gained promotion to the Conference National for the 2008-09 season. He finished his career at Brackley Town in 2013, being a player manager. Brady was a Football Conference champion with Rushden Diamonds in 2000-2001, scoring a winner at his future club at Chester City on the final day of the season to make promotion mathematically certain. The following season saw him appear on the losing side for Rushden against Cheltenham Town in the Football League Division 3 playoff final at the Millennium Stadium. He also suffered playoff disappointment in the Football Conference with Chester City in 2003 and Stevenage Borough in 2005. He left Chester for Stevenage after helping them to win the conference title, though, in the season 2003-04, and had recently moved on from Hereford United when they were promoted back to the Football League in 2005-06. Selim Bennett. I don't even know if he's still manager at the moment because he is on an interim basis, but I'm assuming he is. Selim Bennett learned to apply his trade as a footballer at the Paris Saint-Germain Academy. Bennett began his professional club career with Paris Saint-Germain in 2001 and stayed in the club until 2005. After his 2 loan transfers, he went back to PSG. After this, playing on and off for them over the next 2 seasons. Overall, he earned 28 caps for his childhood club, scoring 1 goal. With PSG, he appeared in 28 league matches and scored. I don't know why I've repeated that. But he was in the squad which won the Coupe de France in 2004, is what I meant to be saying. He was given 2 loan spells from Paris Saint-Germain, though, to Martigues in 2002 and Troyes in 2003. He was sent to the Championnat de France Amateur, which is the 4th tier of French football, to the club at Martigues on a season-long loan spell. He played regularly for the Martigues first team, scoring 1 goal in 28 appearances, which seems to be his ratio, as it seems. Next season, he was sent on loan to Ligue 2 side ES Troyes AC, who had just narrowly avoided bankruptcy and were trying to survive for the time being. Bennett had trouble to getting into the team, making 9 appearances over the season, scoring twice. In 2005, he left France and moved to Portugal, signing with Vitória Guimarães, where he enjoyed 1 successful season at the club. The next season, he signed a contract with the Russian side Rubin Kazan, where he played for 2 seasons and appeared in 23 league matches, scoring 3 goals. He was in Kazan's 2006 La Manga Cup winning squad. After 2 seasons with Kazan, he moved to Kuwait and signed for the Kuwaiti Premier League side Al-Qadazia, and played there until 2009. With Qadazia, he won the 2008-09 Kuwaiti Premier League. In 2009, he signed with Spanish La Liga side Malaga. On the 13th of September 2010, he wasn't registered to play in La Liga and was released by the club, with 1 year still left to run on his contract. On the 21st of January 2011, he returned to Portugal and signed a contract with the Maritimo until the end of the 2011-12 season. On the 16th of June 2012, Benachour signed a 2-year contract with a Cypriot club, APOEL. On the 23rd of August 2012, he scored his first goal with APOEL in a Europa League playoff round match against Neftchi Baku in Dalga Arena, equalising the score in the 83rd minute. in a match which ended with a 1-1 draw. He became a champion with Foyle after helping his club to win the 2012-13 Cypriot First Division. During the 2013-14 season, he appeared in 2 2013-14 UEFA Europa League group stage matches for Foyle and won all the titles in Cyprus. This is the Cypriot League, the Cypriot Cup, and the Cypriot Super Cup. On the 28th of July 2015, he signed for Indian Super League club Mumbai City, managed by his former teammate Nicholas Anelka. With Mumbai, he appeared in 11 matches with 3 assists and 1 goal, as the club finished 6th in the 2015 Indian Super League season. After the end of his stint with Mumbai, he came back to France in 2016 and signed with Championnat National side SC Martigues. From 2016 to 2018, he appeared 15 league matches with Martigues, scoring 2 goals. Daryl Clark. He started his career at Mansfield Town when he joined their youth setup at the age of just 10. He made his way through the ranks and was offered a professional contract at Field Mill by Andy King in 1995. Clark made his first team debut on the 21st of December 1996, coming on as a half-time substitute for Ben Sedgemore in a 2-1 defeat at Cardiff City. He marked his home debut at Field Mill with a goal in a 2-0 victory over Doncaster Rovers. The Stags struggled near the foot of the third division in 1995-96, rising to mid-table in 1996-97 and 1997-98, before finishing one place outside the playoffs in 1998-99. They then dropped back into the lower half of the table in 1999-2000 and 2000-2001 after manager Steve Parkin was replaced by Bill Dearden. While at Mansfield, he became a fan favourite, partly because he was a homegrown talent. He made over 150 league and cup appearances for the club, scoring 27 goals. As his contract ran to its end, he attracted the attention of several other clubs and was offered a contract at Hartlepool United by Chris Turner. Clark signed for Hartlepool in July 2001 on a free transfer, courtesy of the Bosman ruling, but Hartlepool still had to pay £70,000 as he was under 24 years old. He was seen by many as a replacement for Tommy Miller. Clark originally failed to cement his place in the starting 11 and found himself in and out of the team, making 26 league starts and 9 substitute appearances. However, he still managed to score 7 league goals, including a hat-trick in a 7-1 win over Swansea City. The following season was much more successful for Clark, as he played in nearly all of Hartlepool's matches and added another 7 goals to his tally in Hartlepool's promotion-winning campaign. The arrival of manager Neil Cooper saw Clark's opportunities in the first team in 2003-04 limited, as Ethion Williams was preferred on the right wing. Clark only started 23 league matches, but he still managed to make a further 12 substitute appearances. In the 2004-05 season, Clark suffered a knee injury that prevented him from taking part in any of Hartlepool's league games. He was loaned out to Stockport County, managed by former Hartlepool boss Chris Turner, in order to gain fitness in January. But this was cut short as Clark picked up another knee problem after just 1 game. His knee injury caused him to miss the second half of the campaign. In September 2005, Clark was loaned to Port Vale, but played just 2 minutes after being utilised as a late substitute by manager Martin Foyle. Despite his return to full fitness, being described by manager Martin Scott as a massive boost, his appearances were again limited once he returned to Victoria Park. In July 2006, he was loaned to Rochdale, where he made 12 appearances, scoring 1 goal. He was released by Pool manager Danny Wilson in May 2007. On the 3rd of July 2007, he signed for newly promoted Conference Premier club Salisbury City. He was strongly influenced by former teammate Tommy Widrington to make the switch south, and was the third signing made by Nick Holmes. He helped the club avoid relegation in the 2008-9 season, which was a good achievement for the club. At the beginning of the 2009-10 season, he became Salisbury's most senior player and was duly given the captain's armband by Widdrington, who had recently been appointed manager. He captained the club to a mid-table finish. However, Salisbury were demoted down to the Southern League Premier Division as punishment for their severe financial problems. Clark was an energetic box-to-box midfielder who had an eye for goal, though defending was his weakness. Robbie Stockdale. Stockdale began his youth career at Middlesbrough and originally played as a forward. At the age of around 15, he converted to a right-back and graduated to Middlesbrough's senior squad in 1997. He made over 70 Premier League appearances for Middlesbrough and scored 2 goals in games against Watford and Chelsea, as well as earning 5 international caps for Scotland. He had several loan spells during his time at Middlesbrough to clubs such as Sheffield Wednesday and West Ham United. In 2004, Stockdale moved to Rotherham United after a successful loan spell in which he scored once against Burnley. He became an integral part of their defence, but the club and manager Ronnie Moore couldn't keep hold of Stockdale, and several months later, midway through the 2004-05 season, he left Rotherham to move to another part of Yorkshire. Stockdale signed for League One side Hull City and played out a season at the KC Stadium, but after the end of the league campaign, he lost his place in the squad. After a troubled 2005-06 season, when he failed to make a league appearance for Hull. Stockdale was signed on a 2-year contract by his former Rotherham boss Ronnie Moore for Tranmere Rovers in a £100,000 deal, which also brought Kevin Ellison to the club. He made 35 league appearances during his debut season of 2006-07. Stockdale continued to be first choice at right back during the 2007-08 season, but was released by the club at the end of the campaign. Stockdale signed a 2-year deal with Grimsby Town under Alan Buckley in June 2008 and was the first new signing for the Mariners for the 2008-09 campaign. He made his debut on the 19th of July in a pre-season friendly against Oldham Athletic at Blundell Park and went on to score his first goal in a 2-1 defeat to Morecambe in the FA Cup. By this time, Grimsby were under new stewardship following the sacking of Buckley in September 2008, with the club bringing in Mike Newell as his replacement. Following an injury spell in mid-season, Stockdale remained on the sidelines for several months, while his position was covered by Jamie Clark. He managed a return to the first team in the closing months of the season and cemented his place at right back, eventually helping the Mariners stave off the threat of relegation from the Football League. During the 2009-10 season, Stockdale suffered a hernia injury that kept him sidelined again for several months and would only see him compete 9 times during that season, in which right-sided attacking midfielder Peter Bohr was deployed as the club's first-choice right-back, which would eventually see him be awarded the Fans Player of the Season. Grimsby suffered relegation from the Football League in May 2010, and a month later Stockdale signed a new contract to keep him at Blundell Park for a further season, but in the contract was the introduction of Stockdale as the new youth team manager, as well as continuing to make himself available for selection as a player. Grimsby manager Neil Woods handed Stockdale the number 39 shirt for the 2010-11 Conference National season as cover for Bohr and Bradley Wood. On the 18th of January 2011, Stockdale played his first competitive match in 18 months when he was called upon to start the 2-1 home win over Kettering Town. The game would be his final competitive match. Although initially representing England at under-21s level, Stockdale earned several call-ups to the Scotland team in 2002, whilst a Premier League regular for Middlesbrough. He was handed his Scotland debut by Bertie Vogts in a 2-1 home defeat against Nigeria on the 17th of April 2002. In that same year, he also played in defeats against Denmark, South Korea and South Africa, as well as a 4-0 victory over Hong Kong. Gary Bowyer. After playing in non-league football for Westfields, Bowyer, fullback, signed for the Football League team Hereford United on non-contract terms, making 14 appearances in the 1989-90 season. After the season ended, Bowyer moved to Nottingham Forest, but he didn't make a senior Football League appearance for the club. Bowyer later signed for Rotherham United, making 38 appearances in the League One for the next two seasons, before retiring due to injury at the age of 25. Whilst at Rotherham, he was part of a team that won the 1996 Football League Trophy final. Keith Hill. Hill began his career with Blackburn Rovers, moving on to Plymouth Argyle in 1992, in a joint deal with Craig Skinner, with Nicky Mark moving in the opposite direction. Hill spent 4 years with Plymouth, moving on to Rochdale in 1996. After 5 years at Spotland, he joined Cheltenham Town, but he only played a year there, playing only 5 matches, punctuated by a 2-month loan with Wrexham. He then spent a year with Football Conference Club Morecambe. Paul Tisdale. A former England schools international, Tisdale came through the youth system at Southampton. He signed as a professional in June 1991. He was loaned out to Northampton Town in February and March 1993, where he made 5 league appearances. He eventually made his Southampton debut in a League Cup game against Huddersfield Town on the 5th of October 1994. Unfortunately, at this time, Southampton were enduring frequent changes of manager, and as a result, Tisdale never had a settled run in the first team. Having played his last senior game for Southampton on the 27th of April 1996, he again went out on loan in the 1996-97 season, this time to Huddersfield Town, where he made only 2 appearances. In his time at Southampton, he made a total of 18 first-team appearances, scoring once against Manchester City on the 16th of March 1996, when he took 1 touch and delicately lifted the ball over goalkeeper Ike Imel. Following the departure of mentor David Merrington, Tisdale moved to Bristol City in August 1997. At Bristol City, his appearances were limited. It was while at Bristol City that Tisdale got his first taste of life at Exeter City, with a 3-month loan at the club during the 1997-98 season. He left Ashton Gate after just 1 year and played abroad for both Finnish club Finpar and Greek club Panionios, before returning to England to spend a year with Yeovil Town. Matt Gray. A youth product of Tottenham Hotspur and Cardiff City, Gray had an unassuming senior career in the National League. He began his senior career at Barnet and with stints at Hayes and Havant and Waterlooville, where he was appointed the captain. He ended his playing career at 25 due to various injuries. Ben Garner. He never was a player, starting his managerial career at Crystal Palace's academy. Mickey Mellon. Mellon began his career in 1989 as a 17-year-old with Bristol City, gaining promotion to the old second division, then managed by Joe Jordan. In 1991, he was loaned out for 2 months to League of Ireland club Cork City, making his League of Ireland debut on the 20th of October 1991. He made 11 appearances for Cork, scoring 3 goals. He spent 4 years at Ashton Gate before joining Midlanders West Bromwich Albion in 1993 for a fee of £75,000. He played 45 league games for West Brom, scoring 6 goals in their promotion season, ending in a playoff victory over Port Vale at Wembley. It was his move to Blackpool for a fee of £50,000 in 1994, however, that saw Mellon establish himself as a regular on a team and score sheet. Under Sam Allardyce's guidance, Mellon made 138 appearances and scored 17 goals in all competitions. He was voted the club's player of the year in the 1995-96 season, as the club just missed out on promotion from Division 2. In the season following Allardyce's sacking in 1997, Mellon moved up a division to join Tranmere Rovers, who were then playing in Division 1 for a fee of £300,000. He spent 2 seasons at Prenton Park, followed by another 2 with Burnley, whom he joined for £350,000, gaining a promotion, finishing second to Preston North End. He returned to Tranmere Rovers in March 2001, initially on loan and then on a free transfer. He was released in May 2004. Mellon joined Kidderminster Harriers in August 2004, signing a 2-year contract. After leaving Harriers, Mellon spent a short spell at Witton Albion in 2005 before joining Lancaster City. Matthew Taylor. As a player, Taylor was a fullback, wingback and midfielder in Premier League for Portsmouth, Bolton Wanderers, West Ham United and Burnley, and in the Football League for Luton Town, Northampton Town and Swindon Town. He scored 84 goals in 658 league games in a 20-year career in English football. Thank you very much for watching. I think that was quite a long one today, so thank you very much for watching it all the way through if you haven't reached this point. Don't know when I'm going to start recording again, so don't ask me. Sometime in New Year. Got obviously Christmas, which I wish you have all the best, and I'll probably be on holiday around about the New Year's time, so we'll wait and see, but it will be on the same schedule lines. So just make sure maybe you're subscribed. You'll be able to get notifications on, because then you'll be able to find out. But goodbye for now.